Now, moving on to our last question is I want to talk about next steps to starting a great outreach process. Now, to do that, to start a better outreach process regarding the creek, or maybe engage with these development sites here to coordinate them, what is the one thing that people can do next? And there's, keeping in mind there's a lot of different audiences, agency people, city staff, grassroots groups, elected officials, and I make a big distinction between the elected officials and the city staff. Everyday on the street residents, people who might, a lot of people call the creek the canal, and also I think we've already talked about the 3C cleanup. And now we've already covered some of this already, but in our roving discussion. But what are some next steps, keeping in mind all these different kinds of people that it might take to work together? And start with the panel and then open it up.
I think that we should take this mailing list that you have now created from this group and figure out how to have a Friends of Compton meeting before the October 17th to actually try to make the 17th the kickoff to Friends of Compton Creek. I think that would be a fantastic first step of gathering the community that even remotely cares about it, and trying to put together a Saturday meeting or a Sunday after church meeting to get the community to, we could do a micro sort of Creek 101 and then sort of move forward.
Allison?
I think that to really get the people out, you need to make it relevant to the different groups in the community. Make it relevant to their lives, because, piggybacking off of what the gentleman from Hills of Bay in the back said earlier, so many people are just so inactive, but it's, comes a point where, it's, putting food on the table and keeping the electricity on. Why do I care about the creek? That type of thing, where you've really got to kind of target the different groups,
So give me a kind of a more concrete example of one next step that we could take within the next quarter to do that initial outreach, to target a group that is more concerned with putting food on the table and keeping the lights on. Mm-hmm. But what's one initial kind of outlay that we could do to one group? And unfortunately, in our economic times, there's a lot of them. But can you take it all the way there?
Maybe put it out as a festival, a community festival. Advertises, hold a festival, food, fun, things for the kids.
I think it's good to catch people in the neighborhood in Compton, and I think a good tool is to be somewhere where there's a lot of people, like Blue Line Station or a church on Sunday. Distribute something that'll draw people in, like Blue Line Station, Condos in the morning, so people have something to eat or coffee. You give people a draw like that, they're going to want to come and engage and give them information. Something, you offer them something as well as interactive so they can participate.
So be somewhere that is crowded. I'm going to repeat it just so we get it on the recording. Be somewhere that is crowded, like a Blue Line Station, or when church breaks on Sunday. That's where the people who are selling the food know to go, right? I mean, when the church breaks, so they know how to make money.
There's an interactive booth where kids can look, play with something that looks like a watershed.
Bring out the watershed booth, or hand them something, a flyer or something that's not just a picture of our totally abstract watershed, but maybe hand them something that's like, and you get a $2 coffee, or a, for participating in this thing, do that, or like get them, like access them on their terms and their language in some way to engage them, and then maybe you have a chance.
To go in line with Meredith, one of my projects is to connect with Friends of Compton Creek. My area health officer has given me that assignment. I'm very interested in the organization. I've been doing work that is not active, so we're interested in sort of streamlining our efforts and engaging the community, and I think that might be one way. And to start is to reframe the perception and to educate and empower the community to focus on the issues around revitalizing the Compton Creek.
Shamika, you might just be the fresh person, the fresh attitude person that we need to take that on, and you come from a position of power. Keep raising your hands. Who raised their hands? Reginald, and then you.
Referral basically is so important. You know, a lot of folks in this area tend to go to the barbershops and beauty salons, and I have found that, you know, whenever I go to barbershops and beauty salons, a lot of the stylists there, you know, if you get them on board, you know, they have a lot of influence. They got Captain Owens sitting there. And so I always tell people, use those barbershops and beauty salons. You know.
Barbershops and beauty salons. Plus, if you litter in the creek, they can cut you. But Reginald, you also brought up, last time, you brought up that bus driver.
I was going to say bus drivers, because I go over to Division, I live in Division 2 over here off of Main Street, and a lot of the bus drivers that cover this area here, you'd be surprised. I got 2 bus drivers. One's a plant scientist, one used to be a ranger, and you know, he's driving the bus, and whenever we're wrong, the whole bus is talking about, you know, whatever we start talking about in the front. So I always tell you the bus drivers have a lot of influence over people. So just, those are just 2 examples of referral.
Compton Renaissance Transit, LBT, Gardena, MTA, South Bay.
Right here, you know, all those
Parsons
local
Circle.
type buses. They got areas for signage on the bus also. You put signs up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a lot of activity taking place on those buses and stuff. And
I just want to go to some of your youth groups. I know the Girl Scouts this year, they come out with a program called Journals, and their journal this year is focusing on the environment. And they're ones that are just brand new out, but you might be able to find some of the leaders in your community who are willing to maybe set up a booth to help draw the other girls in to talk about the environment while you do your cleanup day, or something where you can get them to come out also. I know 4-H probably has programs, Boy Scouts have similar programs, so just talk to some of the youth leaders.
We have patches.
Yeah, I love that.
Youth groups, 4-H, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. To that I might add Watts Willowbrook Boys and Girls Club, who maybe we could find a way to, they don't cover Compton, there might be a Compton branch or something, but I'm not too sure about that. So maybe try to do like one, within a year, do one partnership opportunity with another youth group.